Hey, it's your boy J Hardcore Boxing News back at you with what's happening in the world of boxing today. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. If you hear the sound of my voice right now, that's letting me know that God is giving you another opportunity to make it one more again, man. And I'm glad to be in that building. Glad to be right here with you all. And it's another old timer show, man. Another old timer show. Hold on a second. Yes, indeed. Another old timer show. And who we got in the building already? We got Naeem the Dream. He says it's the only dream that matters in boxing. I'm here for turkey season. Got Mike Rim. What's up, Mike Rim? That's him. Yes, indeed. We got Scale Screpatory in the building. Ariana, the Boxing Menu Podcast. Hold on one second. Let me bring my big homie in, man. Mr. Will, how you doing?
All right, my brother. How about yourself?
I can't complain, man. Keep it
all right.
And that's all. Yes, indeed. We got the Boxing Menu Podcast in the building. We got Doc and Lovely in the building. Who else we got up in cheer? We got Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT up in here. What's up, Lonnie? Yes, indeed, man. Good to see everybody. Just doing another old timer show, and I'm pretty much sure that the rest of the fellas will be entering into the building. Mr. Will.
Yes, sir.
You catch the fights last night?
You know I did.
I know you did.
Hey, look, last night was the night of the upsets, wasn't it?
Was it ever? Man?
I loved it, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I knew two of them was going. I knew Ryo was going to beat him, and I knew Bacoli was going to win too. I knew those two.
Yeah.
Well, man, you know what? I was 50-50 with the Ryo. Let me correct that. I was 50-50. I felt though that could have went either way, him or Pitbull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard me say it, but I always felt that Pitbull can't box anyway.
I think I've heard you say that before.
That's what I'm saying. He cannot box, man, and he just got exposed last night. But I keep trying to prop my phone up. But yeah, man, he looked like I expected him to look. To tell you the truth, he really. I mean, because he was in there, he did the Pitbull thing, you know. He did what he does, but like I said, that brawling, trying to maul you tactic is not going to work with everybody. He's got to learn how to box if he wants to stay in that game. Then first of all, he's too short for the division. Let's get that perfect. Damn. Yeah, he's short. I just think he's short for the division. I really do.
What's up, Bruce? How you doing?
What's up? What's up, Mr. Will? How are you?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Man, we just talking about last night, man.
Ooh, 9.5 hours, man. I caught it from beginning to end. I caught the whole card. I didn't miss a jab. And
get out of here! You watched it from the jump.
I can prove it. Go to my page and check out.
I believe you. I'm just saying.
Do me a favor and go look at it. Give me the view. I did a 9.5 hour broadcast. I had Tim Witherspoon jump down with me for a while, and man, I mean, I was going to sit home and watch it anyway. I said, hey, might as well turn it on live and invite some people here. And I had a bunch of people come in and watch it with me.
Wow. I took a nap because I knew it was going to be on late.
I was supposed to go to a party last night. I gracefully bowed out of that. And I was, from 4:30 until 1:30, I was sitting in front of my tube. I had the old, the good old herb driving me through. Plenty of water, man. And hey, It was a trial, but you know, maybe for some of these casuals they couldn't handle it. But for an old hardcore like myself, no problem, brother, no problem. Just one more day of boxing.
I'm gonna tell you what the most enduring part that I didn't like is that goddamn Eminem.
I know.
I was pissed about that.
That was an hour of my life I wish I could get back.
I guess to get me a pair of those pants though, man, with the crotch about down to your knees. That's what I was wondering. Where can I get one? You drop a loading.
Yeah, that was way.
But man, I'll tell you, they kept it interesting. Upset City with Bacoli and Jared Anderson. That was great.
But you know what? I felt like for a long time that was inevitable. I never liked Jared Anderson, man, and they kept feeding him baby food for a long time. He never fought anybody.
Nah. Well, they were kind of bringing him. He was staying active. I thought they were bringing him up okay, but he had the
him along way too slow.
He had the problems with Charles Williams, and that kind of said something right there. Last night, Bacoli looked like Sonny Liston last night, man.
He did.
That's a mammoth of a man.
Yeah, he is. He's a biggin. He's definitely a biggin.
Yes, indeed, man. He's the type of cat I don't want to see in the alley. I'm definitely getting back.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yes, indeed. You definitely need a back. Because I'm going to tell you, when Anderson was going to his body, man, it looked like he was tickling him. It looked like he was tickling him. I swear.
Yeah. That's true.
He definitely got his baptism by fire. And you know who he reminded me of? I don't know if you remember this guy, Michael Grant, a few years back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 7 feet tall, 300 pounds of nothingness. Yeah, I remember.
Was exposed badly by it when they put him in there with Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
It was a big mistake. But it kind of almost brought back memories of that. A little fast. And then that robbery with fucking Andy Ruiz and the other Big Baby Miller. I thought Big Baby Miller was smashing them all over the ring.
Yeah,
I thought he won that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he gave a good thrashing, didn't he?
Andy Ruiz looks like he's dropped so much since he knocked out Anthony Joshua several years back. I mean, his gut was just hanging over him. That was disgusting. That was disgusting for one thing, to go in there to a professional contest looking like that. The man relied on hand speed, and that just wasn't there last night. He didn't look like he could take a punch. In fact, he hasn't been able to take a punch since Chris Arreola, it seemed. But I thought that was a robbery. I thought Miller did enough to win that fight, and that was a sad one. I think even Turkey Al-Sheikh was protesting that.
Well, listen, this is the thing. That was political. And that has a lot to do with Big Baby coming up dirty all the time. So he's not going to get any love out there, if you understand what I'm saying. That was sort of retribution. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see that for sure. Mm-hmm. Yes, and William Old School. What's up, William Old School? Demetrius Bright. What's up, Demetrius? Al Booger, how you doing? Yes, indeed. Who else came up in here? Let me see. What do y'all think of Mike Rim? What's up, Mike Rim? What do y'all Showtime the guy? How you doing? What do y'all think about Bud and Majimov?
Bud lost. That's what I think. And that's my man. I'm a huge Bud fan, but he lost that fight last night.
Why you say he lose?
I think he did. I mean, I think he got outpointed. I think he got outfought. He came back at the end and did some things, but it was too late.
Yeah, the last 3 rounds, I gave.
That's what I'm saying. The last 3 rounds he came to life, but it was too late.
What do you think about it, Bruce?
Win.
I thought Bud did enough to win myself, but I thought he underestimated him. I think he was looking past him, and he gets in the ring and he's got this guy. He only had 10 fights, but he had like Triple G. The guy's had 300, 400 amateur fights.
Right.
So he was very, very prepared.
Yeah,
He didn't put him under pressure. He showed Bud different angles. I noticed he was moving side to side, and Bud wasn't handling that well. Bud was getting frustrated. But every time Magnemorph would hit Bud would come back. I thought harder. Bud came back with better counter punches, and it was a close decision. But I was hoping Bud would shine at 154 because he wants to challenge Canelo at 168. And
I can't see that. He better stay away.
I can't see that. I think if he had fought last night, even if he had fought Fandora or Tim Tszyu, I don't think he would have come out as easy a victory. So I think if he wants to stay at 154, I think he's going to have to get his boxing a little more in order. Kind of realize that those big guys are not going to fold as fast as the little guys did, and he's going to have to.
You said the operative word, big guys. Bud is not big enough. He's a little guy, essentially. He's a little guy. So 154, I think, is too big for him. I think he's maxed out at welterweight.
Bernard, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
All righty, all righty. Did you catch the fights last night?
Of course, man. Of course, the fights were amazing last night. I was very pleased with what I saw from Bud, considering this his first fight at the junior middleweight division.
Which fight you enjoyed the most? Can you hear me now?
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me personally, man, I enjoyed the Bacoli Anderson fight, man.
Me too. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was my favorite fight, man. Yes, indeed.
I love that upset.
And it was so funny to see a 6'4" man, 6'4" man still look teeny. He looked teeny against that guy, didn't he?
He looked short against that guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, he was 6'6". That was a big 6'6", man.
Yeah.
Definitely a big 6'6" for sure, man.
For sure.
So, I enjoyed that fight the most, man. Like you said, I seen that as inevitable. I knew that eventually Big Baby was gonna happen to him,
Yeah. He never had any preparation, man. You can't fight tomato cans back to back and expect to do something when you get in there with the upper echelon. And that was basically just the start of it, the start of the upper echelon. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that it was all tomato cans because I can't say that.
I gotta say, I knew nobody on his resume when he was fighting these guys. I never knew any of it other than Prince Charles or whatever his name, Charles Williams or whatever. He's the only one I knew, and he wasn't really anything. So that's why I said what I said. I stand on that 10 toes.
And you have the right to, for sure.
You know what I mean? I just never saw him in there with anything significant.
Yeah, I mean,
our boy Umar would say matchmaking.
Yeah, exactly, Bruce. That's what it was.
And he was top ranked darling. He was the only heavyweight hopeful for the United States. So Bob Arrow had a match carefully.
That's
I mean, he was exposed. He was exposed like Michael Pratt was exposed. And not only that, but he didn't have the attitude like he really wants to box. He stated before he was in it for the money. He wanted to get out quickly. That's a bad look for a heavyweight prospect, especially the top in the United States. Now he's got to go back to the drawing board. I think he's going to realize that boxing pays better than a 9 to 5. So I think we're going to see him back. But he's definitely going to have. And he has Sugar Hill training him too. Sugar Hill should have known the faults. He should have seen those defects and corrected them.
Fought for him last night. far as I'm concerned.
Mm.
Yeah,
He'll make the
well,
overrated trainer himself.
well, but Coley, myself, man, I seen this man. He was coming off a 9-fight win streak. Okay,
Right.
and when he fought Hunter, he had injured his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I really didn't look at that as a loss.
Yeah,
What
because
happened?
I'm thinking about Mike the Bounty. His father was the same name.
I think somebody's got some back. We heard some backlash. Like, is it? That might be. Yeah, I think that was Bernard. Yeah, that was Bernard. But yeah, man.
Well, you know what that does, man. That puts Bacoli in a very elusive group because, like, we have there are 3 top heavyweights: Usyk, Joshua, and Tyson Fury. But then we have the other ones that are in the mix now, man. We have
Zane.
Jillian. Yeah. We have freaking damn what. Why does this old Tymers disease always hit me when I hit the old men's show over here? We got Joseph Parker.
Mm-hmm.
We got the white guy from Eastern Europe, man. What's his name? He just beat Sanchez.
I don't know.
Somebody put it in the chat real quick. You got Dubois. You got Dubois.
Yeah. So my point is, Bacoli's now in that elite list. He's in the money-making list. All he needs is a victory over any one of those guys, and he's himself a shot to the title.
Yeah.
Give me. I said it earlier today. Give me him against Zane. I like that right now. You know why they wait. Yeah, 2 big guys, man. 2 big guys. You know what I'm saying? So put them in there together, and because Zane can box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bacoli is sturdy as hell, man. You know what I mean? And,
but you know what? Don't overjudge him. And what I mean by don't put him on a pedestal just
yet. No, I ain't gonna do that.
You know why I'm saying what I'm saying? Because you really can't gauge him off Anderson. If you understand what I'm saying.
Good point. Mm-hmm. I think Anderson fought him incorrectly. The last fight that Anderson had, Anderson was on his toes. He was moving around. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the way he should have fought Bacoli. You know what I mean?
He could have done anything he wanted to do last night and still got the same result. What I'm getting at is his pedigree. He's not that good. I've never seen anything with Jared Anderson that made me feel, oh, this guy's going to be something. I never felt like that about him.
Where does he go from here, Mr. Will?
Well,
who are you asking?
I would give him one more shot.
Who, Anderson?
Might start looking at the exit door.
Wow, but he's what, 22?
That doesn't matter. If your heart's not in it, it's not in it. And I think he's kind of got 1 foot in, 1 foot out of boxing mentally.
But Coach Bernard, what do you think, man?
I look at it. I think he's hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
I think he's a very young fighter. I think sometimes we're quick to throw the baby out with the bathwater. If we resurrected a lot of old fighters multiple times, then I don't see why we can throw this kid to the scrap heap. I think that when you look at a lot of the way some of these guys are moved, it might have been too soon. But when I look at it, if you look at a lot of guys' records, I'm not just talking about one particular guy, but a lot of guys at the championship level, when you go back and look at their first 15, 20 fights, you can't really name a lot of people off of that list. But if you go back and look at a lot of those guys when they fought them, they both might have been, the prospect could have been 8-0 versus somebody that was 22-3, and then they lost 6 or 7 more fights. I just find it hard to write them off. Either the job of a good promoter is to build you, or the job of a good promoter is to get you knocked out. Because we talk about both sides when we talk about fighters. Oh, he was moved too good. He's not that good. Well, isn't that the job of the promoter to move you in the best way and give you the time to have growth and development? I think Anderson. I still think he's a good fighter. I still think he has a future. I think that he's 22. When you're 22, you make totally different decisions that you made at 12. You make different decisions that you'll make at 30, 32. And if you look at boxing now, most of these young fighters, especially when it's getting towards being the championship level, if you compare the 80s and maybe the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, these guys are 10 or 12 years pre as compared to the guys from then that didn't become champions until they were 28, 30 years old. These guys are becoming champions at 22, 23, 24. So I think with some growth and maturity, he still has a lot left.
I just don't think Anderson. I really don't. I don't think he has the.
But in reality, how many champions, how many young fighters, how many prospects truly have what it takes to be fighters? Without the right promoter, a lot of them, they sell a lot of wolf tickets, but they ain't gonna bite nobody. These are professional fighters. These ain't the goon mentality guys like the Mike Tysons. Just those guys were different. James Tonys, the Mike Tysons. If those guys were pros now, they would still beat 95% of these guys. So that thinking that they're that guy is very rare. That's why I say all the time, when you get guys like Tank Davis, when you get guys like my son, it may be a few more guys, but it ain't many. You're not going to get away with the clown stuff that you get away with because they're not going by the script. You're not going to push them around. You're not going to say certain things. And when they see you, they don't smack you in the mouth. Because if that happened to a lot of guys, the one that got smacked in the mouth, you don't want to fight him no more because he's saying he's serious. This ain't just a sport to him.
Yes. I don't want to risk that bag. Some people just crazy, don't give a damn.
Yeah, that's true. And those are the guys they want out the sport quick as they can get him out. Get him a loss. If you're a Tyson type guy with that mentality as well, they want you to lose, and then they want promoters not to fool with you because they're gonna keep throwing you in the mix. I give you a guy that nobody wanted to fight, and it was based off how he was and his attitude. Remember Gerald Noble? Remember the Jedi Gerald Noble? Nobody was trying to fight Gerald Noble. And he was one of those guys that really was the tough guy. If you say crazy stuff, he gonna slap you when he see you. I think we're basking in a time that's long forgotten. These fighters now, 99% of them are just great athletes. That's all.
Yeah, but you also want to be I don't know where we got that kickback verbiage. Let me see something.
I'm in my truck. It might be me. I'm in my truck.
No, it's definitely you, but I'm trying to understand. Okay, I just turned something down on this over here and it stopped. So because I don't hear it now. We're good.
Yeah, me either.
Oh no, but now I turned he turned his mic off.
Do you hear it now?
Yeah. So it's because you're in the car there. Yeah, but you still got. I mean, if you want to make sure you're still secure in the bag, man, you're gonna have these cats that's gonna talk smack, man. But it comes to a point where you gotta become disciplined enough where you don't smack the guy, so that way you don't mess up your own bag. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I get what you're saying, but you know you're gonna get these guys that's gonna. You can't just let them push your button because it's like having a button on your forehead.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And somebody, if they know they can just walk up and push it at all times, you know, that's not good too.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree.
So we still got to remain disciplined, so that way you can still make sure you secure that bag, though.
I hear what you're saying, Jay. We got to remember that the dogs don't bite too many kittens before they get them in the ring.
Exactly.
No, but then you had a great fighter like Muhammad Ali, and he would create controversy. You know, he would he'd give a nickname to his opponents, and he'd create a lot of personal heat going on with them. You know, and sometimes it was funny, sometimes it wasn't so funny. Sometimes he made it personal, like when he called Joe Frazier the gorilla in Manila, and Joe Frazier took that real personal.
Yeah, he did.
But that's all part of boxing, smack talk. I mean, we don't want to see Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno having a cup of tea and shaking hands. I mean, I like that smack talk in boxing. I think to an extent it brings more action to the sport, keeps it alive.
Well, Ali did it with a touch of humor, if you understand what I'm saying. It wasn't really malicious. He just was a funny guy, so he was just all about the humor side of it. He was trying to make people laugh too, which he did. Because I thought he was hilarious back in the day.
Now, some guys do get too disrespectful, man. There's a lot of stuff I be hearing saying these days, man. And from the cloth that I come from, it just never was tolerated. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because, especially when you use that bitch word, you know what I'm saying? I know. You never use that word against a man unless you was ready to get hit in the mouth. Or you was ready to punch somebody in the mouth. When you said that word to another man where I come from, you should be waiting for you said it because you want me to punch. Simple as that. You know what I mean? But now they use that word so loosely now.
We're in an age where you don't see people face to face. We see them like this, and the way people fight over here, it's like they fight like this.
Yeah.
I can call you what I want to call you. You're not gonna.
But eventually, with these fighters, eventually they're gonna end up in the same place, though.
Oh, well, they're gonna have to be on their P's and Q's. That's when they have to. That's when they have to learn how to sell a fight and not to get personal, like you say in here, man. When you start talking about somebody's mama,
I never played the mama thing, man. You know what I mean? That's my button right there. You know what I mean? That's the number one rule in the hangout. Don't talk about nobody's mama, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, there was some good heat when Bud and Errol Spence were going back and forth. I mean, there was lines divided in the sand. They had camps, this and that. I thought it was fucking hilarious, man. I thought it sold the fight. I thought
but they were respectful about it all at the same time.
Yeah, that's my point.
They were respectful.
It was done.
But there was a lot of disrespect in there too. On both sides, and I mean it's just comical when people get all emotionally charged in a fight, and then when it's over, the fight's over.
Everybody always hugs.
The boxers especially. You see these guys trying to kill each other, and the bell rings for the 12th round, and they put their arms around each other. I mean, I don't care how rock hard you are. That's got to make you a little bit mushy inside when you see that shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, when you go 12 rounds with somebody, that's an ounce of flesh, man, and you get respect for that person, man.
Oh yeah.
You get respect for that person because he makes you earn his respect.
It's like a warrior's code of honor,
Right. It's just like with Bernard's son and Pete Dobson, man. At the end of the fight, they had respect for each other, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because they both gave up an ounce of flesh in that fight, man.
I'll give you even a better example. Gotti Ward. Those two guys trying to kill each other, end up next to each other in a hospital bed. You know what I mean? And it was a love fest from then on until Gotti's demise,
Mickey Ward was in Gotti's corner for every fight after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was at all three of those fights, man.
You know what? Gotti should have let it go after that trilogy, though. He really shouldn't have fought another fight after that. And he just kept. And I was like,
that fight against him and Floyd, man. I was there, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that fight there. man, I felt each punch that Floyd was
No,
hitting.
the last fight he fought against that guy, what was that guy's name that split his lip real bad? I forgot his name. I cannot think of something Gonzalez.
Okay.
Remember, it was the very last fight Gotti fought.
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, thank you. His last name is Gonzalez. I remember that much. And he split Gotti's lip real bad. I mean, it was like Klitschko's lip got split that time against Lennox Lewis. It was that kind of cut in his mouth. And
Alfonso Gomez.
I said Gonzalez. Yeah, Gomez. That's it.
Yeah. He was in the contender. He was on that show.
He was nothing. He wasn't even a threat out there. And he beat the stuffing out of Gotti, which let you know how far Gotti had fell. But like I said, I kept saying, why is he still fighting? My son could attest to this. Every time I saw, I was like, why is he still? It was the same thing with Holyfield. Holyfield hung around about a good 10, 15 years after the fact. He should have been retired. When Tyson bit his ear, that should have been his last fight. He could have went down arguably as the greatest at that point in time. I mean, Holyfield was doing some big things in the heavyweight division, but he kept fighting, and reduced himself to bum status by the time he actually.
That's what when you have 11 kids, man, you end up.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
Oh man,
that's true too.
The money that Holyfield made, and I watched them. I watched those $20 million purses, that lifestyle that he was living. I couldn't believe how it all evaporated. And then you read you can read what somebody's worth on the internet. And when I read Evander Holyfield was down to $20,000 net worth, man, I'm like, wow. So I got more than that in the bank. Holy shit, poor Evander Holyfield. But now he rebounded and he's back in.
He's getting himself back in, and I'm glad of that. Hey, but no, your son went out to the fight, man. Is he back yet?
Yeah, he got back home this evening.
Okay, cool. How did he say it was out there, man?
Man, packed. He said, man, wall-to-wall people out there, so they can't say that fight ain't sell out. He said that joint was packed.
That was a good undercard.
I don't know. They were showing shots. I saw a lot of things.
You did?
Hey, I can tell you.
Somebody said that the Jackie before and bought all the tickets.
Man,
I don't know, but the eye test, I saw a lot of them. I saw thousands of empty seats in there last night.
Wow. Yeah, a buddy of mine was saying that when we were talking on the phone while I was on, and he was saying he saw a lot of empty seats too. I couldn't tell.
One of the guys that from one of the guys that's in the hangout all the time, Al Booger, he went to the fight. He said when it's about time the actual last few cards, man, he said it was packed at that point. He said he said at the end it wasn't an empty seat at all.
That's a huge place. That stadium was big.
Yeah.
And plus you got to understand, sitting there in the hot LA sun, 90-degree sun.
That's crazy.
For 9.5 hours, man. Ooh, it was tough enough in this air-conditioned place on my freaking warm sofa, my most comfortable chair I ever had in my life, and it was a little bit of a task. I can only imagine on a hardback chair in a 90-degree stadium. Ooh,
and drunk. Look, and drunk.
And drunk, yeah. Waiting in line to take a leak. Oh my goodness. I don't go to fights anymore, Jay. I don't miss it, bro. They made it too easy for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I really like watching fights from home.
Me too.
Certain fights I'll go to, for support. Because of the media that I'm in, but I really like watching it from home.
It's only been the last couple of years I got a 60-incher in front of me. I mean, it's like it's better than being live in some instances.
Yeah.
You can see those cuts in the high definition.
And you get instant replays.
Yeah, that's what I like. I'm gonna tell y'all something funny. I think I told some of y'all when I went to the Tank Frank Martin fight. When it was time to their fight, I went back into the media room and watched it off of television, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched it from. I had a seat in the arena, but I preferred to sit and watch it over the screen because it was I could hear what the corners are saying and everything, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, and so it was definitely my seat was empty in there.
Okay, so where does Venezuela go now?
Well, I did talk to someone over there at that Alphabet place, and they said that they will be willing to whoever the winner was between those two guys, they were willing in putting them in with Tank next.
In front of Tank?
Yep.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
think so. Yeah, I can see that.
Because I specifically asked, I said, well, if Ryo win, would y'all fight Ryo? He said, why not?
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if they'll do that, man.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, though?
But at what weight is the question? Would Tank go up and fight him at 40 for that belt? Or bring him down to 35?
I know Tank people made it pretty clear that he wants to stay at 135.
Yeah.
And here, you know that, and
he's the money man.
I don't think Ryo's not going to come down to 135.
And Tank don't give a damn about belts. It seems like to me. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, so
which I don't blame. I really don't blame him because these belts today don't really mean anything. They are belt holders. They're not champions like yesteryear.
Mm.
There's some dynamite fights at 140 though. He's got a gold mine up there, man.
It is.
Teofimo. Yeah, I mean, you know.
But is he giving up size when he go there, man, and give them a better chance at defeating them?
First of all, he won that WBA belt. He's gonna have to defend it, and he definitely exposed Pitbull. Pitbull showed his limitations last night, man.
No, he showed it way before that, Bruce. Jay could tell you, I always said Pitbull can't box. I always said that. He can't box. He like we talked about that before. His last fight, you said he looked good and all this stuff. I said, nah, man. He looked better last night when I lost than he did in any other fight I've seen him in.
Yeah, and they say November, but that's not dead set. They might fight in December. You know what I mean? I know they say, I say Matthew Bishop say, will Ryo be ready by November? That's September, October, November. That's 3 months from now. But they can easily make it first week, second week of December if they choose to.
Who is that? Tank and
Yeah. Ryo. Yeah. I know they mentioned November, but it ain't set in stone. Definitely not set in stone. The Rise Podcast, All Access International Senior Cup. How you doing, man? Congratulations on your son win yesterday, man. Great win. Glad to see. All the Ape squad was doing their thing yesterday, man. Congratulations also to Bad Girl Promotion on another successful event. What's up, Teach? I see you in the building. You said that WBA belt switch hands so many times at 140 hardcore. Ryo is about to get a Mando fight if it's been too long. I can dig it. Yeah, but shoot, he'll get that belt up to fight Tank. Let me tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
You want this belt, or do you want this couple of million? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So trust me. Opportunity to have a chance, especially these guys. They don't think that that Tank can beat them. These guys really believe they can beat him, man. You know,
like Stevenson, huh?
Yeah, they believe they can beat this boy, man. You know what I'm saying? They just want an opportunity. So I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, man. Ryan, I like Ryan's coach, man. Mikey Garcia, man. I like him, man. Robert Garcia, I apologize. Robert Garcia. He's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good coach, man, and he definitely know how to get the best out of the fighters, man. Yeah. Look what he did with Marcos Madonna, man. Marcos Madonna looked like he was about to be out of boxing, man. Man, he rejuvenated his career, had him fight Floyd, and gave Floyd one of Floyd's hardest fights ever, man.
You know, Madonna is wearing a momentum around his neck.
Yeah, you got Floyd Tooth. Yeah, you got Floyd Tooth. Yeah. Yes, indeed, man. That was a tough fight for Floyd.
But you know what's crazy? I saw that when it happened that night. I was watching it with my son and a buddy of mine that night. And when he hit Floyd with that shot,
you seen something fly in the air.
No, I'm getting ready to tell you what happened. This is what I said. When he hit him, I said, "Uh-oh, y'all! I just saw Floyd do the rope grab. He was going back to his corner, holding on to the rope."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he grabbed the rope by his right hand. Yeah,
I saw that in there. You know,
I was at that fight. Man. I went to both of those fights, man.
You did?
Yeah, Madonna 1 and 2. Unheard of. What's up, Unheard of? Good evening. Teach. Good evening. Yes, indeed, man. But yeah, man, I definitely enjoyed yesterday's event, man.
Oh yeah.
A little too long. I was not happy about.
Really, man, what did me in was the Eminem concert.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god. And then the national anthems, they gave us the murder mix on that.
Wow, yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That was a long day. Seems like the Riyadh promotions, they like having those stacked cards, that long day affair. That's like the second one they've done that I can remember. It's been over 7 hours, and it's hard to sit through the whole card, man. It really is.
Oh, I just thought about something.
As long as they keep stacking them, though, they're gonna have marquee events like that, and they're not so bad because it was 9.5 hours, but hey, it was worth it for me. You know, it was definitely worth staying up watching it. But if they were to have a top ranked card with prospects against showcase fighters, I mean you got to have 50-50 fights.
What do y'all think about so-called Steve Nelson?
I was impressed.
I gotta mention something else too. I just thought about we didn't mention that main card. David Morrell got exposed too.
Yeah.
Huh?
I agree.
David Morrell was supposed to make a splash at 175.
Look, you know what? He got exposed last night. He's not ready for the big guys out there, like Benavidez and Canelo. People like he can't do anything with them guys. I'm telling you that now.
Well, Benavidez didn't look all that great at 175 last time either.
No, but I'm saying I would bet he would beat him though. Morrell didn't look like anything last night.
That would be a great fight to put together, man. I'd love to see.
Yeah, I would like to see them fight each other next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. But
go ahead, do process of elimination right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. I always said that he was too early anyway, man. I thought they were moving him too quickly anyway, but that's just my opinion. I felt though they were moving him a little bit too quickly.
I think they got to do some agonizing reappraisal now.
How about his Cuban compadre last night, man? Andy
Cruz? Yeah, I like how he dug in, man.
Yeah,
that was a spectacular knockout.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, the dude was out with that second right hand. He got that when he was like standing there. Referee said, "Step towards me," and he just kind of
stepped. Yeah, he was stuck.
Yeah, and Cruz isn't known for power either. I was expecting.
They said they got him sitting down more in his camp. Yeah. He's Randy Shields had him, right?
No,
Ronnie Shields.
No, never had him. No.
No, I'm talking about now.
Ronnie's got Morrell.
Bozy got him.
Ronnie's got David Morrell.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew.
Boots' dad got Andy Cruz.
You said who has him, Jay?
Boots' dad.
Bozy.
Oh yeah.
Bozy, he has him. Yeah, he got him sitting down on his punches.
Yeah,
because he was never one to sit down on his punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like Andy Cruz, man. He has very good defense, man. He has beautiful feet, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he got wobbled yesterday, and that happens in boxing, man. But you know, he came back and did his thing though, and I like that, man.
Yeah.
So you know, and it wasn't against a trash opponent. You know what I mean? Tony Moran's not trash, you know what I'm saying? So you know, moving forward. But my question to you all is, if they put Andy Cruz and Keyshawn in there together right now, who y'all think wins that fight?
These two know each other well.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good fight, man. I couldn't pick a winner in that fight.
Great point with about them knowing each other well. That's just like how Shane Mosley and knew each other so well, man. Vernon had Mosley's number, man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And Shane knew it. That first fight when they were pro, he knew it.
He had his number. I wonder, does Andy have Keyshawn's number?
Possibly. Well, you know, Devin and Ryan, they knew each other well, and Ryan won the early fights. Devin won the later fights. People thought Devin had come so much further as a pro, and then look what happened when they stepped in the ring. So there's a big difference between amateurs and pros, and we'll have to see who adapts best in the pro division. Andy Cruz is doing a real good job, but he's only had 4 fights now.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna put that fight together for a while.
Yeah, well, they got him on the fast track, man. Because I think his first fight was a 10-rounder, I think.
Yeah, last night he won some kind of a WBO Intercontinental or some.
Yeah, he's on the fast track. Definitely on the fast track, you know. And if you ask for it, Matchroom will put you on that fast track. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just like Jalil and them, man, that they came in on a fast track. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they're going to slow down a little bit now. You know, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? Get some money in the bank. You know what I mean? Build the profile up real good.
Who do you think they should match Cruz up with at 135? What champion you think he'd be who would go in there with him?
I can see him against Baranchik. I can see that. I can see him against Baranchik. I don't know if Bob will do that. You know, there's no money in there for Bob.
Lomachenko? Couple of
There's no money. He's all risk and no reward right now. I wouldn't fight him. For what?
Well, if he's gonna be fast tracked to a title, they got to find someone with a belt who will fight him.
They're gonna have to put him in there with some former champs and stuff like that. Some people that got some names that's tough and stuff like that. But I can't see them. Anybody like those few names you just named. Why would they want to build his record for him? You know what I mean? There's nothing. They don't get nothing out of fighting him. Nothing. No money. You know what I mean? No prestige. Nothing.
You know,
They're just helping him out. Us hardcores want to see it. Yeah, we want to see it.
Yeah, I'm old school, man. I want to see a champion defend his title against a rising contender. And if they want to fast track Andy Cruz to a belt at 135, Bob Arum controls Cruz, and he also controls Lomachenko. Lomachenko's on his way out. I don't know, man. I think it would be a nice little clash to have. Lomachenko doesn't seem to want to fight.
Bob Arum doesn't control Cruz. That Cruz owned by Matchroom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was top ranked.
He's Matchroom.
Okay. No. That's one of the good things about Turkey Al-Sheikh. He can come in there and he can get these uncrossable streets crossed. You don't have to worry about top rank or matchbook or PBC. Cash on the line.
That's what mandatory is supposed to be for, where up and comers get a chance against the champion. But it seems like nowadays everybody can duck a mandatory.
Yeah, no, it's all changed so much now. I mean, we've seen so many contenders at in the mandatory position for years. Benavidez, just to name one off the top of my head. It seems not happening anymore.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, the IBF finally they just finally took Canelo's belt from him.
And who's fighting for it? A guy named Skull, and I don't even know the other guy's name.
Yeah, but he was the mandatory though. He was the mandatory.
Mandatory, and who did he beat to get to the mandatory?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything today,
No, 168. It seems to be kind of getting a little more barren of talent than it was a few years ago. A few years ago, 168 was really popping.
You're talking about during the time when Andre Ward was still out there.
Salute to you, Shell. Good to see you. Boxing Minion Podcast. Good to see you. Yeah, man. Yeah, back in the day, the mandatory position meant something, man. You'll be able to get a chance to fight the champion, but not no more. And let me tell you something. A lot of people, they might be mandatory, but if they don't activate it, you know what I mean, they really don't have to fight for it, you know what I mean, because they don't want to get that 25%. You know, a lot of people like Sean never wanted to activate his mandatory against Bud, I think, because he didn't want to get that 25%. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, I'm not taking 25%. You know, so I heard Benavidez never activated. He might have been Canelo's mandatory, but I heard he never activated. You know? So there it is.
It's a boxing world, different boxing world than what I grew up in.
Yeah, well, we all grew up around that same era. You know what I'm saying? You're a little bit steeper than us, though, Bruce.
You know, like I've always said in here, man. I love sluggers. I love the slugfest. I love when they take it out of their hands. And last night we saw 9 fights, and the most exciting fight was a couple of close to 300-pound heavyweights slugging it out, and it was all action. And we're talking about that as the standout fight of the night. I put up a poll that had almost 1,000 responses. And they all said Pitbull and Ryo was going to be the standout fight of the night. But anything can happen in boxing. Two heavyweights get in there, and you know, I could just see cutting up that card last night because it was long. And then if they started doing that every month, I think boxing would lose fans. So that's going to be reserved for big cards. But like last night, I think just those 2 heavyweight fights. That would have been something HBO would have done back in the day. You know, they put McCauley and Miller, and then they would have put Anderson and Bingo on the same card, a heavyweight doubleheader. But that was only a preliminary to this card. We were watching that, and we still got 2 more fights to go. So maybe they had like a little too much action on one card. And you know, we old timers, man. I didn't get to bed till about 1:30 last night.
Man, what are you talking about, bro?
2:30.
Brutal last night.
And then had to get up this morning and do a show, man. It was brutal on me, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So and everybody that was showing up in the show, man, they was showing up late, dragging ass, coming in, you know. Well, I tell you what, let's get our burning desires in, man. It's almost 9:00. Mr. Will.
Yes, sir.
What you got for me, man? Last remarks for the night.
Man, I tell you what, something I need. Bring back the old school stare down, because that's that energy that used to bring. Oh my goodness. So I don't know how there's been some kind of restriction on these guys being able to do that now. It's like they like
some of them still do.
It's not like it used to be. Those guys used to be a lot closer to each other.
Oh yeah, they got tape now and everything.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They got caution tape in the ring. Yeah, man. I don't like that. So that's one of mine.
All right, Bruce, what you got for me, Bruce?
We can love it or we can hate it, bro. But the the boxing of the past and boxing of the present. That's what I kind of live for over here on YouTube. And once again, seeing my brothers over here, we had kind of a scale down the whole time the show tonight, but nonetheless, always informative, always a blast. And I'll see my brothers next week, God willing.
Amen. And the boom shakalaka to that, man. I enjoyed yesterday evening. I just don't like a fight going. I just don't want no more damn concerts. I don't need no concert. I don't need no concerts for my fight. That's it. You know, I don't give a damn who it is. I don't want no concerts.
Say that. I don't care what.
You know, they could have did that right after the Steven Nelson fight. I've been okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But the wait till 12:30 at night to have a damn concert, man, was very distasteful, very disrespectful.
It was. It was. It was downright hateful.
Yeah.
If I were 40 years younger, it would be beautiful. But hey, it is what it is.
Oh, you've been 40 years ago. You've been 13, man.
I'll see my brothers next time, man.
All right. It's always a pleasure. Hey, everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up today, man. Lewis 4500. I see you, my brother. I thank everybody, and I tell y'all what, we're gonna run it back tomorrow morning at 8:10. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I see y'all tomorrow. It's your boy Jay Hardcore. Got my guy Mr. Will and Bruce Gas. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
I turn this damn thing off. We out.